as part of my official bio, it talked about how I did a journaling program for young women in Atlanta called Getting Your Groove Back. And it's about reestablishing intimacy after breast cancer. And so how many of you are really mad about being single right now and possibly not having a libido? Raise them high. Raise them high. Okay. All right, so that's good. This young group of the cohort that I had to begin with, some were single and some were married, but the themes were the same around the libido. And how many of you feel like you have had some version of this thought, my body betrayed me? Raise them high. Okay. All right, so that's a good starting place. Angry and no sex drive. Awesome. So, yeah, that's a great place to start. So, see, we're laughing already, and that to me is the best sign. This is a sacred space that we're holding together for the next hour. I hope that, particularly if you connect with something someone else says or something that you hear, that you will reach out to that person and connect with them after this weekend, because there's nothing like hearing from other people who are going through what you're going through and what worked and what didn't. How many of you are coming in here wanting to know when to tell somebody that you've had breast cancer? Raise them high. Raise them high. When is the appropriate time? Okay, so she said, I'm repeating because we're using a microphone and it's being recorded. Come on in, we can get more chairs. She blurted it out for the shock value, and it didn't, I'm summing up, it didn't go great.
It didn't go poorly, but it probably isn't fair to the other person to kind of put them on the spot like that. It's not nice, and it wouldn't be fair, no, to do that.
So nobody, you want to say something? Yeah.
I'm a number of years out, and I kind of, at the beginning, I just wanted to weed people out, so I just told them, hey, I've got breast cancer, and if their eyes widen and they got glassy, I said, it was nice meeting you.
Well, for me, the issue I have perseverated on not having any nipples, and I am almost 10 years out this year. It's remarkable. And because I see so many greens and oranges, and I remember being there. So I really, really feel for you all. I really do. I've had a little more time to get used to not having nipples. It still bothers me. I'm wearing prosthetic nipples today because I bought $200 nipples yesterday. I did. I'm wearing them. It's unbelievable. I sent a picture to 3 of my guy friends of my nipples today. Well, last night. But anyway, I'm getting off track.
Let's make this circle bigger. Can we widen this way? Can we make the oval more of a circle? We've got more ladies coming in. This is awesome. I love seeing so many of you here. Okay, tell me your name.
Oh, Eve.
You were the,
I know, the crazy cyclist.
Okay, you were the, what do you call it?
Crazy cyclist.
No, you were our,
Marshall.
you were a Marshall, right. Okay. Okay. So Eve was talking about, she bought some new nipples and she sent the pictures to 3 guy friends last night. What'd they say?
Well, I wanted an authentic, reaction to it. I wanted them to know, I wanted to know from them rather what their thoughts were. So first I sent it to my gay work husband, and then I thought, well, that's just dumb because he doesn't know from, he's trying like, ew, why? And I think he actually responded like, ew, why are you sending me that? So then I tried again with, a guy that I spend time with. whatever. He woke up to the photo, so he was like that, so he sent me back some emojis. It was the unicorn, the fire, and maybe the red dress, the dancing girl. So those are all positive, yeah. So then I sent him, and I said, do these look real to you? He's like, yeah, why haven't I seen those before? Because they're, and like so then I went through the whole thing. These are like medical grade silicone. No, they're actually attached. No, it doesn't come off for weeks. These are awesome. I couldn't look at myself very well in the mirror when I didn't have anything there and there were just mounds, and you don't connect with, your breasts. It's like the no-fly zone. And I was in a relationship for many years when I was diagnosed, and he was awesome. And he was 25 years old at the time, and we shouldn't have had to deal with those things, or he shouldn't have had. So I did a really good job at pushing him away so that it protected him from having to, deal with this mess. And, that was shitty.
So kinder words. This is not a mess. That's how it feels, but this is not a mess. This is beautiful and divine and sacred and you, okay? So there's no rule book for when you tell. A sex therapist and PhD social worker in Virginia named Sage Balti has done research on this. And her research result, and I'm going to say part of her opinion, because I do think it is in part opinion, that if you're on the third date and you hadn't told, it's time to tell. Well, for whatever the reasons are. So my point of view is, after 12 years of working with all of you, is tell when you're ready. Tell when it feels okay to you. So there's no rule book. And when I did a similar type of session like this at the summit in Houston, there was somebody in the audience that just kept hounding me for a specific. And I said, if your clothes are coming off, you might want to tell. Because things are going to look maybe a little different. Yeah, so I wouldn't wait till then. The other part of that, I think, is really important to know that if you're on a date with somebody and, it's kind of fun to be on a date, but you don't really think this is the person, you have no obligation to tell them anything. If you don't think you're going to go out with them again, there's no reason for that. And I think we've already gotten a little bit of a flavor from a couple of people who have told straight out of the gate, because that's what made sense to them, versus maybe some of you are still on the fence about, or feeling a lot of fear about what that's going to be like. I asked, and of course some other people have walked in, so I'm going to get the show of hands again. How many of you are angry about your sex drive and your body changing? Raise your hand. Okay. So I said, this is great. We're angry, we're pissed, and we don't have any sex drive. That's awesome. So one of the journal techniques in the group that I formed with young women is to have a dialogue. Dialogue is not something that somebody created. It's just, as a journal technique, it is meant to be only for you. It's like having a play where you're a character and your body is the other voice. So you're thinking about your body as if your body were a person. Can we pass around the paper, and I'll do this. I'll pass around some this way. We're going to do this for 5 minutes to see what happens. Just take a piece and go. And so it's going to be like Jean, my voice, body, next voice. And you're going to write for 5 minutes. That's not a lot of time. In the dialogue journal technique, you always thank whoever it is that you're having the conversation with. So your first sentence would be, hey, body, thanks for showing up for this conversation today. And when I tell you that you've got a minute left, you're going to start wrapping it up. Even if you have more to say, you can always go back to this conversation. And then we're going to read to yourselves what you wrote, and I want everybody to then write on the back of the piece of paper one thing that jumped out to them that surprised them about this conversation. And then we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you in advance that in doing this, there's a young woman who I've known. She's 10 years out now, but in this group, she said, I used to be skinny, I used to be fun, I used to put out. And I'm not any of that now. And she's real mad at her. And I said, if I'm your body, I'm thinking I can't get anything right. And so we did this right when that happened. I said, we're all going to do this. And this was a group of about 10 women. I said, we're going to do this writing right now. We're going to do this technique. Thanks. And what you need, a pen? Yeah. She did the exercise, and when we went around, you're not sharing if someone really wants to share their conversation, we can do that, but I really want to hear more about what you feel like you learned from that experience. And what she said was, I need to do a whole lot more cherishing and a lot less bitching. So to me, that felt like a sort of a real shift in a point of view toward herself and toward her body. Because the biggest relationship that you have to get good with before you can be in relationship with anyone else is with you. So if you're going to start with what I want to be like in a relationship, start dating yourself. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. On a date, in a relationship, whatever. Come on up here. There's some seats up here. It's okay. We're going to do a little writing exercise as if you were writing a screenplay. She's coming. Good. And it's as if you're having a conversation with your body. Okay? Do we have any more pens? One. Okay. So I'm going to get my phone. And does anybody have any questions? Yeah. You want to hear the instructions again? Okay, so here's an example. Yeah, here's an example. The woman who sort of came up with a whole bunch of different types of journal techniques as a package said her butt literally hurt. Her butt was being a pain in her ass. So she said, the conversation was K: hey, butt, how are you doing today? And the butt's voice said, well, if you would get off your ass, I'd be a whole lot better. And she had no idea that was going to be how she first responded. And they went back and forth for a few minutes, and for her, that was about getting a message that she was avoiding something that she really needed to do, and it literally had manifested in physical pain in her rear end. Now, I'm not saying that's going on with any of you, but she got clarity from doing that exercise, and that really often is the goal of journal writing, is to move through something faster, to get to the other side of things faster. I can certainly raise my hand to this. I certainly have stayed in a place of something bugging me and not doing anything about it for a long time when I, somewhere in the back of my mind, knew I could do something. Anybody else guilty of that? Okay. Journal techniques like this one is a creative way of getting at the information a little differently and seeing what happens. Okay? Does that help? You feel like you understand it? No? It's a dialogue it's like you're writing a screenplay. If you ever read it, or a play that's performed on a stage, you're documenting. It's like this. Can y'all see these flip charts? So it's like Jean, hey, body, hey, how's it going? Okay. We're going to start with your body. And here's the great thing. You can have, this is a technique you can use on your own. So if you want to practice having that conversation, the unpredictable piece of that is you don't know who's going to be having that conversation with you. Right. I'm trying to think of another example that So I told somebody this just coming in. Last year at our summit, we had a half-day legacy session like we did yesterday, and I did the last little piece of it to talk about fear. And one of the participants said she was very scared to even do things like write a letter for her child or for someone she cared about, because she was afraid that that would make it a self-fulfilling prophecy that she would die. And I said, well, that's about fear. That's not about reality. That's about fear. And it's a common theme, and she's in great company. So I said, so let's try to get that on the outside of you, rather than walking around feeling really clenched up about it. So we did this with her we did it as an actual conversation rather than on person, because she was willing to do it on paper. So I played fear. And, she followed the instructions about thanking fear for showing up. And then at the end of the conversation, so when she said to me, Fear, thanks for showing up today, I said, no problem, I'm always available. And she immediately laughed, and we just went back and forth with that, like, what's the point of fear? Why am I so scared to do this? And Fear would say, why? Hi, come on in. Would it help if we did one like that in person, like if somebody's willing to have, come on up here. Yeah, okay. No, I want you to come up here with me. Did she just volunteer? Come here. I'm going to pull this up. Okay. So we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna have Amanda time me for 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then we're gonna see if anybody has any questions, and then we're gonna do the writing exercise. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm your body.
Thank you, body, for guiding me towards goodness, even though I had to lose some things. Boobs were a pretty big sacrifice, body, but my newbie foobies still make me feel like a woman. And even today, I didn't write this, but yesterday with getting the silicone, how happy you were, body. You were so excited, body. You told the wrong person, body. I literally told a guy, and he could not keep his hands off me last night. And I'm glad I had, where's Antonia? Where's she at? There you are, honey. Yeah, I'm happy that I had her with me last night, because he was very pushy and very entitled for a man. So, but I kept my composure, and that's that. All right, body, let's get back to it. I am sorry for for shaming you, for not being what I wanted you to be based on unrealistic expectations that are entirely made up. Body, I'm sorry for calling you a mess, a hot mess, fat, unattractive, unmanageable, and all the other names that I can't remember at this very moment. Thank you for getting me to this point where I can express myself freely and hopefully help people along the way. In the past few months, you felt tight over your finances because you aren't where you want to be. Body, you take care of your grandfather. You go to work every day even though you don't want to go, but you do it because you know that you have to do it. You know that bills have to be paid. Even though, you've been searching for the past how many ever months, since trying to recover. You're learning how tired you are. You're learning, yet how resilient you are and how much your life has just changed so much. It's changed so much. And now you've started to realize, and you can feel it in your bones. You can feel that your whole body just literally, body, this, it comes alive when you feel that exact thing that you are meant to be doing. And you don't know why.
Okay. Kelsey's just had a whole conversation with her body in conversation already. So This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask somebody to come up here that's not so prepared.
But I know.
So, you didn't come up here and say, hey, like a question or a statement that really gives the dialogue the chance to happen. Yeah. But you acknowledge a lot in there, which I think provides a lot of hope. for how far out of treatment are you?
Almost 3 years.
Um,
Yeah, I'm a writer at heart, so it's
okay, so if you were going to have a question for your body now in dialogue, not a statement, what would it be?
Body, what at this very moment do you exactly need right now in order to be the best body?
Sidebar, I'm basing this on the paragraph she just read. I'm tired. I need some rest. I need to be still. And I need for you not to worry so much about having to be responsible all of the time because we've had cancer.
Because I just want to sleep, body. I want to sleep a lot.
Me too. What do you think we can do about that?
Just like go back to my room and go to bed right now. I'm so sorry. But body, I really need to sleep.
So you don't need my permission, but you have it.
I'm giving myself permission to say, like, I love you guys and take care of your body and just go to sleep if you need to go to sleep because you need that first, body.
Okay, thanks, Kelsey. That's maybe not so prolific a writer. Come on up here. That takes courage. Takes courage for all of you to be in this room. So come on up here. Okay. What's your name?
Yulia.
Okay. So do you understand kind of how to start the conversation?
No, but I will try.
Okay, so I'm your body, and we're going to have a
Okay.
conversation.
So I'll preface this by saying that I had a lot of body image issues before I had breast cancer.
Okay, that's a good point. Is that true for anybody else in the room? Okay, so just so you know, research-wise, that's pretty common
Yeah.
for everybody. Okay, go ahead.
So what am I doing? Am I reading from what I wrote, or are we just talking?
Is this a statement or a question?
This is a conversation, I think. It's an
You started
apology.
it.
Yeah, I wrote an apology to my body, and then my body responded to me.
Well, let's read that.
Okay.
Read that out loud.
So I said, body, I'm sorry that I made things worse. It was shitty from the start, and now it seems like there's absolutely nowhere to go. And my body responded, my legs still work, my arms still work, my eyes give you sight, my heart is still pumping, my vag is still a vag. What the hell do you have to apologize for? So,
Okay, your turn to answer, and then I'll.
so I didn't write an answer, but truth, I guess. I don't know. It's so complicated and it's so muddled up in my head and in my heart. I don't know what to say.
You didn't do anything wrong. Even getting cancer was not something that you did. You just got it. We got it. And now we're on the other side of it, right?
We are, yeah.
I'd be curious to know, based on this little conversation we've had and the response that I've given you, what you think is going well.
Well, I'm still here. I think that I'm taking proactive steps to be better to my body, more so than I was before cancer. And I think that's, in a sense, in an unhealthy way, my apology to it when it's undeserved to my body. But it's also a testament to how much I need to cherish it at the same time, because it is the only body that we have. And we have to work with what we've got. So, yeah.
Thank you. So I want to tell another story, and this is like based in nothing with cancer, but it was a friend of mine whose husband said, you know, women worry so much about their bodies, and they'll buy clothes that don't fit them and say they're going to fit into them. And he goes, guys gain weight, and they just go buy bigger clothes. You know, and talking about that piece about self-esteem, he said the guy can be the biggest, ugliest, fattest son of a bitch in the room, and if a woman turns him down, he's like, well, she's crazy because I'm great. Okay, so we could do well to learn from that. You know, no matter what we look like, no matter what has happened to us, as I started to say in the beginning, we're sacred beings and we deserve love and all good things. Okay? Do you have a better understanding of the dialogue now? Do you want to try it? Okay. Can you time us, Amanda? All right. So I'm going to have Amanda set it for 4 minutes, and then in that last minute, you'll wrap it up, read what you wrote to yourself, and write down one thing that you feel like was a surprise or new, or even maybe something you're curious about wanting to know more about. Okay? Amanda, tell us when to go. might be either an aha or something you want to know more about, something you want to get curious about, and we'll do that for like 30 seconds. It doesn't have to, it can be a word or a sentence. It doesn't have to be big. So, one of your cohort in this room came up at the time during you wrote and said she'd be willing to share about what she wrote because she had a pretty, I think, profound experience, as many of you may have in that little short amount of time. So I'm going to give her the microphone, and then I'd really love it if we could just pass the mic around. And if you don't have something you want to say, that's fine. And you just say, I'm going to pass for now, and I'm going to capture some of the themes. I'm not going to write anybody's names down, but I really think that it's important to see what comes up in that little bit of time.
I'm starting the conversation. Hello, me. My body, or my mind, my essence, my existence. What is your problem? 11 years wasted without love. I feel distant, scared, unlovable. I keep myself, somewhat maybe unhealthy, so I have an excuse. I felt I wasn't worthy of love before cancer. What makes me worthy now? You are a traitor to yourself. You're self-sabotaging. I'm scared of reoccurrence often, and fatigue wears me. This pain you have may be nothing, yet you allow it not to open your heart or your life. I'm grateful I'm alive, but are you living? I hope to inspire others to live since I haven't lived as much.
I'll skip for now. Well, my friend want me to. She want me to say something because she thinks that I don't have to talk to my body. I'm talking to you guys. She want me to think that I don't want to find love because I'm afraid of my mastectomy breast. But I'm really happy. I love me, and I enjoy me, and I'm enjoying my life. I enjoy being single. I've been divorced for 6 years, and I'm loving me. I don't know what else to tell her.
Hello. My story kind of, it mimics off of your story as well. I'm not going to read my conversation, but basically telling myself to live my life and not worry about my body and what I've gone through physically, and just to have that continuous faith and to live my life.
So I didn't write anything, but so I will give a side note for a second. I'm flat right now, and I've been flat for about 1.5 years, and so my biggest concern was dating. When we went over, when we first came in, you guys were going over kind of like when you tell them and everything like that. And I will say, I dated probably about 3 different, guys within the last couple of years, and each of them, probably around the second date, I did mention like, oh, by the way, just to let you know, they don't care. They don't care. If you're willing to date them, they don't care. They really don't care. I remember one of the guys goes, as long as your butt's real, I really don't care what's going on. and that was the conversation. What I will say is that throughout the couple of years, I was very heavy up top. And so throughout the couple of years of being flat, one thing that I have noticed, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can kind of relate, is it's hard to train yourself to look in the mirror and be okay. It's hard to be able to have control over that type of emotion, because it's different. We look different completely from what we did before, and not only that, but you are completely traumatized from the situation in itself. So whether you have been in remission for 11 years or whether it's been a couple of months, it's, attempt to take a step back and give yourself a break, and not be so hard on yourself, because again, as much as hard as it is, as much as we look at ourselves different, we do have to remember that those who are looking at us, they don't see what we see. And so it's reminding ourselves of that, and trying to, like I said, train yourself of, hey, this isn't, whether it's not permanent, it's not, whatever the case may be, it's just kind of reminding yourself that you're alive, you're good, you get to continue on. And if you don't like the way something looks now, because, unfortunately, because you have this disease, but now with this, you can go contour your body and insurance will probably pay for it. But there's silver linings throughout it, but it's a matter of getting yourself in that mental state first, and trying to find your resources of whether it's therapy, whether it's people that you can talk to help you get to that point where you're okay with what you see in the mirror, regardless whether it looks like it did before. So that's what I wanted to say. Sorry.
Hello. I guess I'm not reading what I had, but even looking back at this, my thing is just love yourself. As long as you love yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. You look in the mirror, look at you. Look at the beautiful person you are. Look at the wonderful spirit you have. Know that you're still here, you're alive, and you can change anything you want to change, but let it be something you want to do. Don't do it for someone else. If he doesn't like it, who needs him? Tell him bye. Seriously, and men, like she said, men don't care. At first, when I had the mastectomy, double mastectomy, my thing was I wanted to keep my bra on. It's just something I just don't want to show. But this guy that I was dating at the time, he's like, no, I want to see. Okay, but then you want to squeeze it. I'm like, you feel something? I was like, no, I don't feel a thing. I'm still numb. And then you want to lick a nipple that was made. No, there's no feeling there. So it's what you want. If you want to show, if you want to tell, that's you. My thing is just love you and embrace yourself. And as long as you love yourself, that love from others will come. It's all about us. We're here. We're enjoying our life. We're alive. If you need someone to talk to, you talk to them. If someone is negative, then don't listen to that. Don't be around it. That's all.
I did a little chat. This is me talking to my body, and I'm like, hi, body. Hello. How are you? I'm fine. You must be really tired. Yes, I am tired. I love you. I love you more. You're sexy. You're confident. You're beautiful. Thank you. Are your scars healing? Yes, they are. You've been through a lot. Two cancer reoccurrence. Yes. I love you so much. Thanks. Are you strong? Yes, I am. But I'm not gonna give up on you. Thank you.
I'm here to support every single one of you. Okay, so I just will read the beginning and then I'll say what I came up with. So, hi, buddy. Thanks for coming. Sure, always there for you. Really? Are you? So basically, this was conversation when my body was telling me that it's here for me, and I was like, no, you failed me because you gave me cancer. And then my body was like, wait a minute. No, I heal you from cancer. I'll let you go to work for 5 months when you were in chemo. I heal you fast after mastectomy. how you not appreciating that, and you still not treating me right? I did all that for you, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, you did that for me, and now I expect something back. You treat me right. So basically, that was a surprise for me, because I was like blaming my body, but my body was like, no, I did all that for you, and you still are not thankful. So that's my conclusion.
Well, what I wanted to say was what I found with myself is that I try to do a whole lot, and sometimes I overdo it, and I find myself, I could be driving in the car in the passenger seat and just fall asleep. Or like the other day, I came home and I sat outside on the deck and the sun was bright and I fell asleep just like that, like at the drop of a hat. So my takeaway is just trying not to do everything because you feel like, you know, you should be further along. Or like with me, my struggle right now is just finishing school and getting into my profession finally at 36. And not feeling like I have failed myself or failed my son, because he's all I have and he looks up to me. So just listening to your body, and you know, when your body tells you that you need a nap, take a nap. Your body says that, you know, you need to go for a walk, go for a walk. Just listening to your body, and not trying to do everything under the sun all in one day. So.
My dialogue went along the lines of asking my body for forgiveness for things that I might have done that may or may not have caused cancer, who knows. And in the end, my body said it was cool, so we're good.
So mine went along the lines of acceptance, and my body pointed out to me that some people collect classic cars, some people like old houses, they like antiques, things with character, and so perhaps now I should just think of it as having character.
Mine was along the lines of accepting the new me. I was a bodybuilder before I was diagnosed, so I was preparing for a show, and I was kind of like at my optimal, you know, vision of what I thought I wanted to be. And now that I have all these scars, it just doesn't seem like, you know, that's possible. So my dialogue went along the lines of, why is it so hard to get back to where we were? Will we ever get to that point again? Excuse me. And it said, you know, who's to say that we won't be better than before? We're just different now. So it's just accepting and trying to be better.
This girl is sexy. I've seen her Facebook page. And I also downloaded Tinder for her. We're gonna get her. You need people like me in your life. Okay. I'm gonna read my. Tinder does work. I've had 2 dates since I've been here. Yeah, it's okay. So, all right, my combo with my body. Hi, sexy. Hey, girl. That's my body. And I put, it's been a tough go. Thanks for hanging in here with me. And my body said, cutting to the chase. I could use a healthier diet to support this mind and body. You know what to do. Why don't you treat me the way, let's say, why don't you treat me as I do for you? And then I said, perhaps I blame you for not being small enough. Cute enough. And growing up, I was the darkest in my family. That was tough. So had a lot of self-esteem issues before. And I blamed you for my singleness. And you are only here to support and carry me. I'm sorry. And my body said, it's so funny, it's so funny. Is that have a great ass, legs, thighs. My JJ is off the chain. I don't have libido issues, thank God, right now. I just don't have anything to do with it. But the perfect height, shoe size, and I do have cute toes, even though your sister teases you about them. And take care of me, and I'll take care of you. I got your back, literally, in quotes. And then me, I love you, I'll do better. So my surprise was I did blame my body before cancer for all the issues that I had or why I didn't have a man or anything like that. And that it has supported me through this.
I support all of you. Forgive me, I was tardy for the party, so I didn't get full energy into the exercise. But what you've shared, I thank you for that. For myself, things I wish to share with you that have helped me heal these years. Honor your thoughts, your feelings. Embrace, acknowledge, accept your strengths and your weaknesses. Your healing will come in all forms: physical, spiritual, emotional, social. It can be found in the sunsets and the flowers, in the music and in the laughter and in our tears. Love your mind, love your body, love your soul. Look at yourself nude in the mirror for a long time and love yourself. The peace is there, it's within, it's suppressed, and sometimes we can't find it, but when we allow ourselves to be open, it'll radiate out, and you'll feel it, and then your friends will feel it, and then your friends will feel it, and it'll be perfect. We've hit a reset button in our lives. I've learned to love myself, being that 100% caregiver mother of, the family, the house, the finances, the la 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 for everybody else but me. And this slowed my ass down and reminded me that I matter. There is that deep, strong strength within us, and I find a great strength in coming to these conferences and sharing my survivorship with you, my sisters. Not only empowers and validates and validates me, but I hope that it empowers and validates you. Thank you.
So I'm new to all of this. I had my mastectomy in December, and before that I was volunteering to teach yoga, and I had a lot of flexibility, and after my mastectomy I didn't realize that my arm would be so affected. I could barely lift my arm like this high. But what I wrote to myself and my body is how proud I am of it, and I went through physical therapy. I'm at a gym now, and I'm able to do this now to regain my flexibility and my range of motion. So I'm proud of my body.
Well, my body had a lot to say, apparently, but I'm not going to read all of that. I guess what I learned is similar to what you mentioned, actually, that my body wanted me to understand that there's a lot that it has done for me. It's gotten me through 3 surgeries and 16 cycles of chemotherapy, and we're on the other side, and that I needed to be maybe grateful and thankful for that.
First, I want to say that I think it's beautiful how open and raw everyone's being, and I think it really helps us to feel less isolated. I wrote a lot, and I was surprised. So I'm just going to read the first few sentences because I think it symbolizes how I'm feeling. So my name is Maria, and I said to my body, "Hi, body. You look like you've went through a war. Scars, dents, and lumps that weren't there before. Body, I was at war with cancer. Maria, did you win? Body, I won the war, but I'm very tired. Maria, what can I do to help? Body, I need to recharge. I need better sleep and a simple life." And I think that all of us going through this feels like they've been through a traumatic event, and we really need to be gentle and just simplify our lives.
I struggle because I had lumpectomy and radiation, so I have one nipple up high and one little saggy. I hate the way it looks. I basically yelled at my body for not being my image of perfect, and my body told me that it's perfect for me. So that's what I have to remember.
I'm not going to read any of my stuff, and I'm not going to comment on what I did. But what I do want to say is that I've spoke to a lot of men. I have a lot of male friends. I'm a truck driver. I work with all guys every day, all day. They don't care, and they don't see what you perceive as flaws. They don't see the dimples on your butt. They don't see that your nipples might not be absolutely symmetrical. They don't see any of that. They see you and they love you.
I'm really shy.
Well, you guys already heard me speak, but it's not my fault. I didn't cause the cancer, and I will not be single forever.
Mine was just a reminder that I need to take care of myself more than I have been. Just that's what came up on mine.
Mine was kind of a dialogue about how I missed my workout yesterday and I was feeling bad about it. And then my body's like, but wait, you did all of these other things. And so that was really what surprised me. It was like, give yourself credit where it's due.
Just to keep it brief, I was mad at my body because I look funny after surgery. And I want to go ahead with reconstruction, but the doctors are telling me to lose weight first, and my body doesn't really have an answer, but my body is behind me, and you go, girl.
My body told me to focus on myself and love myself the way that I treat and love others.
I initially had a conversation with my boobs and my stomach because I'm considering getting the flap, and I ended up saying to them, they were questioning why, and I said because what I have now isn't what I'm used to when I was intimate with somebody before. I was never really physical with my ex-husband and wasn't concerned about it then or really gave it any thought. I want what I had before. And then my body stepped in, and like my whole body, and said that I need to do my research and be happy with what I have now and enjoy it now. And yeah.
A lot of what people were saying resonated. I was always very athletic and maybe not a bodybuilder by any stretch, but I felt like after my cancer I wanted to do more so that it wasn't like, well, I can't do that anymore. I can't, bench press my body weight like I used to be able to. But I ran my first half marathon after cancer. I rode hundreds of miles by myself after cancer. My body can do so much more. It doesn't look the way I want it to look, but it is performing in a way that I need to remind myself to focus on, as opposed to, I live in South Florida, so it is a very conspicuous, vanity-driven society. Beauty is revered, and whatever, we all live in the country, you see it. There's filters on our photographs now, and it's ridiculous. But I need to speak to my body more kindly than I do. I would never talk to a friend the way I talk to myself. I would never think the things of my friends that I think of myself, and that's ridiculous. Intellectually, I know that. Emotionally, I struggle. But I am doing something you said resonated. I may not be consciously speaking to myself as nicely as I would like to, but I am absolutely doing things differently now. This is just personal. It's not for anybody else. I'm focusing more on a plant-based diet, 100%. I've taken dairy out. I'm doing things I feel is going to feed my body better. So I'm trying to, with action, take care of myself better than I had been. And there are things that you're going to get back to your fighting weight. I know you will. When you said it, your determination is all over your face. I wish you all success in your survivorship.
It's 2:15, so I'll be super fast. This is I'm in my first year, and what I journaled was everything I've been through this year and doing it while working and being on a board, and I realized, wow, all these people that said I was inspiring, maybe they're right. So, there we go.
The only thing, the thing that I thought about is I need to get more rest.
For me, I need to appreciate life more because I'm still here and I'm living and I'm a grandmother, so I should be grateful.
For me, just being nicer to myself. I'm so mean to myself, and I still have more surgeries ahead of me, and I am struggling with that, but my conversation dealt with my body telling me, well, I healed really well last time, and you were back to doing what you wanted to do really soon, so we can do it again. So
I had a conversation with my body thanking me for eating healthy and going to my appointments and taking my medication. But I had a lot of anxiety after surgery and radiation, and I have had boyfriends that were not supportive. Like after my oophorectomy, my boyfriend did not want to touch me, so that was really hard.
But I feel a little bit of sense of betrayal about the whole cancer thing, which is kind of bizarre, like with my body. And I was lamenting and complaining about it, and my body is like, well, you really don't take care of me. You don't sleep. You don't exercise. You know, I went through last year campaigning where I like literally ate like bizarre things and never slept like at all. And my body is telling me, well, you won the election, so now you have enough money to hire yourself a trainer and to sleep more and to be less stressed and to actually take better care of yourself. Thank you.
So, nicely done. We're right at time. Who wants to stay for 10 more minutes? Okay. Oh, is it right now? Okay, well then y'all should go. Email me after this weekend if you want to get the themes or have other questions, and thanks for being with us.